I turned 80 last month. I've outlived everyone I love. In this silence, I discovered what truly remains. 80 years, 29,200 mornings. Everything you think matters doesn't. What you ignore, that's what stays. I've watched everyone leave. Parents, siblings, my wife of 53 years. All gone. And I'm still here. Look at these hands. 80 years of building, holding, now empty. I finally understand. We own nothing. Don't wait until you're 80 to find what remains. Look now, in your breath, in the person you love. Now, this morning on my porch, watching fog lift, it hit me. I am 80 years old. Everyone I knew is gone now. In the quiet of this house, the silence isn't empty space. It's a library of echoes. 8 decades. I've watched the world transform. But more painfully, I've watched the people disappear. One by one, they all left. Parents, siblings, my oldest friends, my wife, the person I thought would hold my hand until my last breath. All gone now. When you reach 80, you become a ghost in a world that belongs to the young. You watch them rush. You see them rushing, worrying about things that look like grains of sand from where I stand. So small. They ask me, what is it like? Or they look at me with pity, as if being the last one standing is tragedy. But there's a secret to being 80 that nobody tells you until you arrive here. When everything is stripped away, what remains isn't nothing. It's truth. The raw, undeniable truth. If you're younger than me, listen closely. If you're my age, sit beside me. Today I'll tell you about things that don't leave. Things that stay when phones stop ringing. First lesson, we never really own anything or anyone. Not our homes, not our children, not even ourselves. In my 40s and 50s, I thought life was defined by what I built. Career, house, reputation. I guarded those things like they were permanent fixtures. I was a fool. At 80, I look at my hands and they're empty. And that's okay. I've watched homes I lived in get sold. I've watched my professional legacy forgotten by people who weren't born when I retired. What remains isn't the trophy on the shelf. It's the character you forged while trying to win it. That stays. People we love are just on loan to us. We don't own our spouses or children. We're stewards of their time. When you stop trying to keep people and start experiencing them, grief changes. It transforms from feeling robbed into gratitude for the loan. What remains is the love you gave. That's the only thing that doesn't rot or get sold at estate sales. When you're young, you wait for big moments. The wedding, the promotion, the grand vacation. You spend life looking at the horizon. I learned life isn't made of mountain peaks. It's made of the walk between them, the ordinary moments. If I could go back, I wouldn't seek more success. I would seek more noticing. I would linger over coffee. I would listen to the birds with more intent. I would taste my food fully. What remains at the end of a long life is a collection of small, beautiful nothings that turn out to be everything. The moments you dismissed became your treasure. One of the hardest parts of watching everyone leave is the solitude. We were taught to stay busy, but when kids moved out and friends passed on, I was left with a stranger, myself. Most people spend lives running from themselves. They use noise, work, people to drown their own thoughts. At 80, you can't run. Your knees won't let you. So you sit. And in that sitting, I found strength I didn't know I had. What remains is your internal fortress. If you haven't built relationship with yourself, old age will terrify you. But if you have, it becomes sanctuary, a refuge. I've learned I am enough. I've learned to forgive the man I was at 25 and 50. What remains is quiet peace with the person in the mirror. You realize you were your own best friend all along. You just didn't know it until now. Do I have regrets? Of course. Only fools or liars say they don't. At 80, regret and remorse are different. I regret risks I didn't take. I regret words of love I bottled up because of pride. But what remains most painful is remorse for times I wasn't kind. We spend so much energy being right. We argue, hold grudges, protect our egos. As I watch names in my address book get crossed out one by one, I realize being right is the loneliest victory in the world. What remains is this realization. Kindness was always the correct answer regardless of the argument. Always kindness. If you have someone call today, call them. Not to settle scores, but to say, I'm glad you're here. Because one day they won't be here, and the score won't matter at all. None of it will matter except whether you love them out loud, whether you told them, whether they knew. That's all that remains. The love you expressed, not felt silently. There's strange grace in watching the world move on without you. I see teenagers with devices, new slang, frantic energy. At first, it made me bitter. I felt the world was leaving me behind. But then I realized it's supposed to. That's the cycle. What remains is the role of witness. I'm here to see the cycle continue, to watch life renew itself. I see my grandson's eyes, and I see my father's eyes staring back at me. I see I'm just one stitch in a very long tapestry. My job now isn't to lead the parade, but to cheer from the sidelines. There's immense freedom in that letting go. Freedom in letting go of the need to be important. What remains is joy of seeing life renew itself, knowing part of my story is woven into theirs. My legacy isn't my achievements. It's the love I passed down, the kindness I modeled. My wife died 7 years ago, 53 years together. People say time heals. It doesn't. It teaches. Time teaches you to carry the weight. What remains isn't the pain of her absence. It's the love itself. That never dies. It transforms. It becomes part of your bones, part of your breathing. She's gone, but the love remains. Forever remains. My body is failing. Knees don't work right. Eyes are dimming. Heart skips beats it shouldn't. This machine is wearing out, and there's no denying it. But what remains? My mind, my spirit, my capacity to love, that's stronger than ever before. I used to fear death, the dark, the end. Now I watch the sunset and see beauty in endings. Night matters. Without night, morning means nothing. What remains is acceptance that this is temporary. And that's okay. That's perfect, actually. The impermanence is what makes it precious. Every sunset is a practice run for the final one. And it's beautiful. I see my legacy not in what I built or owned, but in the eyes of children who carry my stories, in the values I pass down, in the love that continues to ripple outward long after I'm gone. That remains. That actually lasts. DNA and love intertwined. So what remains when everyone is left? Gratitude. Fierce, heart-aching gratitude for the sheer impossibility. That I got to be here at all. That I got to love even though I lost. That I got to see 29,200 sunrises. Each one a gift I didn't earn. What remains is gratitude, so intense it feels like prayer. Thank you. Just thank you for this chance at life. I'm 80, and I'm not afraid of the dark anymore. I've realized the light never really goes away. It just moves to the next room. Death isn't an ending. It's a transition, a doorway. And I'm curious now, not terrified. Curious what's beyond. If you're listening, don't wait until you're 80 to find what remains. Look for it now. It's here already. It's in the breath you just took. That miracle of oxygen filling your lungs. It's in the person sitting across from you. The person you take for granted. It's in the quiet of your own heart. The still small voice you've been ignoring. Listen now. What remains when everyone is left? The love you gave freely. The kindness you showed when nobody was watching. The wisdom you gained through pain. The forgiveness you finally learned. The peace you made with yourself. That's what remains. Always that. Thank you for sitting with me on this porch. Share this with someone you love. Tell them while you still can.